Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a lovely day so far, and I want to thank you so much for clicking on today's video and spending this time with me. I'm planning on this video going live on Easter Sunday, so if you do celebrate, I hope you're having a wonderful day filled with lots of treats and chocolate. So today's video topic is very fitting for the Easter holiday, and now that we're into April and springtime, because we're going to be talking about how you can save more money during spring. I normally like to make videos like this as the seasons change because I think it's important as the year moves along that we take frequent breaks to kind of reel things back in and assess how our budgets are working, how we're saving money, how we're spending money, and seeing what things are working for us and what things we might be able to change or adjust so that we're able to meet our goals better for the year. I think the reason why I love springtime so much is the feeling of freshness and fresh starts that the season brings. So that's why my first tip for you for how to save more money during spring is to try a new savings habit. So maybe that's starting a money saving challenge, or maybe it's making your coffee every day at home before you leave for work so that you're not spending money at Starbucks. Identify something that you want to kind of change in your life, a savings habit that you want to start, and try it out for the springtime. When it comes to money saving challenges, one of the things that I like to do is pick out an area in my life that I want to get a little better at saving money in. So maybe it's takeout. I know I eat a lot of takeout. Aaron and I love going out and grabbing takeout on the weekends, but it's very expensive. So one of the savings challenges that I could maybe start this spring is a challenge where I do no takeout for 3 weekends in a row. Just an example of how you can take an area in your life that you know you could make some changes in and turn it into a fun challenge. If you complete the challenge, then at the end you could have a little reward for yourself. So I could go out and get takeout if I successfully complete the challenge. And maybe it's not a repetitive money saving habit that you want to start, but maybe you have something on your mind that's been kind of put on the back burner throughout the winter. It might be opening up a retirement account or opening a new savings account, something that you know you have to do, but you've been putting it off. Springtime is the perfect time to get that thing done and get it off your plate. Another reason why I love spring so much is because it seems a lot easier to save extra money than it is in the winter time. And I think one of the reasons for that is because of the longer days, the warmer weather, and how much this cuts down on electricity costs. So for example, where I live in Nova Scotia, Canada, it's warm enough where I don't have to turn on the heating anymore, but it's also not too hot where I have to turn on the air conditioning. So we're kind of at that perfect temperature where I don't have to spend any extra money on heat or air conditioning. Also, because the days are longer, I don't have to turn on the lights as early in the evenings, so we can just use daylight rather than using electricity for lights. And if you're lucky enough to have a clothesline outside, you can also hang your clothes to dry. I live in an apartment building, so I don't have a clothesline that I can use, but I still use a drying rack in my apartment that I hang my clothes to dry on, so I don't have to spend extra money using the dryer. Okay, let's talk about farmers markets for a moment and how wonderful they are. There is nothing better than waking up on a Saturday morning during springtime and going to your local farmers market and seeing what baked goods and vegetables they have for sale. I might be a little bit biased because I do sell my jewelry every Saturday morning at our local farmers market, but I wanted to recommend shopping at a farmers market in this video as a way to save money because there are so many great deals to be had when it comes to fresh foods and vegetables. So you have local farmers that are bringing all of their produce to the market to sell it most of the time at a really affordable price, especially when you consider the rising costs of food at the grocery store these days. And it's just so much better to get it at a farmer's market where you're supporting local and you're supporting the people in your community. Not only can you find quality fresh fruits and vegetables at the farmer's market, but I kind of think of it as entertainment and a fun little outing for you to do with your family every weekend. And speaking of activities and entertainment, we are now in the season where we can go outside and do things for free. We no longer have to pay for indoor events unless we want to, of course, but we can now ride bikes and go on hikes and have a picnic, go to the beach. There are so many different things that we can do outside that are completely free. So I want you to take advantage of it this month, see what kind of things you can do outside for free to keep yourself busy. So because springtime is for fresh starts, now is the perfect time to try and learn a new skill, try a new hobby, just start something new. So for example, I have had it on my mind for a long time that I want to try and make bread. But I keep putting it off because I feel like I don't want to go out and get the ingredients. I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't want to take the whole day to teach myself how to do it. The other day, Aaron says to himself, "You know what? I think I'm gonna try and make bread today." I admire him so much. He went to the kitchen, he got out the flour, the butter, and sugar, found a recipe, and he taught himself how to make bread. He was FaceTiming his mom through the process, so she helped him learn, but it was amazing to see him learn that new skill, and his bread turned out wonderful. We've been eating it all week. It's so delicious, and I thought it was so great that he had the motivation to take a day and teach himself that new skill that he will now have for the rest of his life. We'll be able to save money on bread going forward, and let's be honest, homemade bread is so much better than store-bought. So you can learn any new skill or hobby that you're interested in, but it's great if you can learn a skill that will save you money, like making your own bread, changing the oil in your car, cutting your hair, or grooming your pet. There are so many different things that you can teach yourself that will save you so much money in the long run. With spring, of course, comes spring cleaning, and as a way to save money, I encourage you to take inventory of all of the different things that you have in your house that you should use up. So food in your fridge and your pantry, products in your closets and under the sink in your bathroom, things that you don't want to go to waste that you should use up before you purchase other things. And now that we're on the topic of spring cleaning, you don't just want to spring clean your house, make sure to spring clean your budget as well. Take note of everything that you're paying for, what subscriptions you have, what payments you have, and see what things you're not using that you can cut out of your budget to start fresh. If you're struggling to make ends meet when it comes to food, now might be a good time to start a garden, so then later in the spring and throughout the summer, you can have fresh homegrown veggies on a budget. I think gardening is one of those things that can be as cheap or as expensive as you want it to be. I'm gonna leave a few videos down below in the description box for some cheap DIY gardening ideas so that you can start your own garden on a budget. Because we're changing seasons, there might be some new things that you or your family members need, maybe new clothing, new sneakers, new camping equipment if you want to try and go camping later in the spring. And that's why I wanted to make sure to mention in this video that you should always check out thrift stores before you buy something brand new. Now I know I mentioned this anyway in all of my videos that you should always try shopping secondhand before buying new, but because it's spring and a lot of people are doing spring cleaning, you're gonna notice an influx of items at local thrift stores, and there's going to be a lot more different things to choose from. So you never know what you're going to find. This week, make sure to make a trip to your local thrift store to see what kind of new items are there that you can pick up for a cheap price. I remember being in the dead of winter and how depressing it was when I was getting home from work at 4:30 and it was pretty much getting dark. Now it's so nice that I can actually eat dinner and then go out for a walk afterwards. It's still light out and I feel like I have so much extra time in the day. So that's why now might be a good time to look at your budget and see if there are some things that you were paying for during the winter season that you don't necessarily need during the spring and summer. So for example, if you find it really hard to exercise in the winter because of the short days and the cold weather, maybe you pay for a gym membership during the winter time. But now that it's springtime, you can actually exercise outside. You can go for hikes and walks and runs, and you don't have to worry about the bad weather or the darkness. So maybe during the spring and summer, you can cut out that gym membership and save the money. Back in January, I filmed a video for YouTube all about my 2023 financial goals. This week, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna rewatch that video, and I'm gonna see what goals I've already accomplished or how close or far away I am from achieving other goals. I encourage you guys to do the same. Think back to all of the financial goals you set for yourself at the beginning of 2023 and see how you're doing with them. If you're not where you want to be in terms of your financial goals, that's okay. Take a couple weeks to replan, pivot, change your budget. I want you guys to be successful. I want you to achieve everything that you've set out for yourself, and I know you can do it. Sometimes, like I said, you just have to pivot and replan, but you'll get there. All right, everyone, that is it for today's video. I really hope you liked it, and I hope it gave you some ideas for ways that you can save some money during this spring season. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and also hit the red subscribe button if you're new. Make sure to go down below in the description box and check out some of my links. I have my Etsy shop, my Instagram, some videos on how you can start a cheap DIY garden, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!